since it's been a while that we have trained together, let me just brief you around all the things. And also today we have put the mirrors, so just be careful on the bike. Yeah. So switch on the bike from here. Here's your start button. Yeah. Check if the bike is on neutral first. Yeah. So start the bike. Since we are doing a revision after a while, just initially ride in the first gear. You know your track. There's a slight bad patch over there, so try to avert it. You have ridden in the dirt before, so don't really get bothered by it. Look in the front. Essentially, look ahead. Don't look down, don't look in front of the tire. You have to keep moving ahead, find your escape way. Do not get bothered by the obstacles.
You want me to switch gears also? Go transition from first, second, first?
On the first lap, maybe when you do, just ride on the first gear. As you get more confident and comfortable on the bike, then you can try switching the gear. First and second essentially. Try braking and stopping also. We had worked on the rear brake. You could start applying the front brake also, as I told that you start with the rear brake and then you use this one and then use the clutch and stop. Where you keep your feet? Yes. Yeah, and in case you're not too sure what to do, stop, and if you are not able to avert it on time, then use the, cut it, yeah. Sure. Since you're riding the bike with the mirrors today for the first time, every 30 to 40 seconds, try looking into the mirror to see the activity behind. See, this is, as I say, an idle world where there are no external factors involved. But when you'll be riding on the road, there will be people and traffic coming from the behind. So you have to really keep a check on what's the movement behind in addition to what's happening ahead, so that you're more alert that you know how to move about it. Stick to the left side, essentially. Even when you're turning, try to stick to your side of the road, because when we will be practicing in the real environment outside, there'll be vehicles coming. So when you ride towards the left side of the road, there'll be people mostly crossing you from the right side. The others, we really can't help. So stay focused, smile, and just enjoy the ride.
So Suparna, so that's your baby. School for training.
Yes, so it's my baby. Unfortunately, in 2020, when the world was hit by pandemic, everything was shut down, locked, a lot of things closed down. I took the plunge, took the courage to start something new, and by God's grace, it's running fine. So,
just very, as briefly as you can, what kind of training do you impart?
So, I have kept the expectation very clear from the start. It's a school for aspiring rider. Aspiring rider, according to me, means that someone who has little or no experience of riding a two-wheeler. So, someone who wants to become a rider, I actually train them to be a city rider first. After that, if someone wants to, explore more, then if they want to get into dirt racing, I'll connect them to the right people, or stunt riding, or any other form of riding. I'll connect them to the right people. For me, I'm like a kindergarten teacher for riders. I'll prepare them into the basics, tell them about the nuances of riding a motorcycle safely, and then teaching about how to ride safely on the road conditions.
So if someone comes to you completely raw, as in, has no experience in riding, how many sessions, and so also do you take only female riders or male?
Not really. As I said that for me, women riding is not really a thing. So anyone who wants to learn riding, be it a man or a woman, can come over. However, as we discussed earlier, men have an easy access to motorcycles. So it's only majorly women who are coming over. But right now, say I'm training someone who's an NRI, and the guy has been living in India for the past few months and wanted to get trained. So yeah, I'm training him.
So
also.
How many classes do they need to take to become to be able to do a solo ride in traffic? Or
so I'll explain. I do two kind of classes. One is a 5-day course, and the other is an 8-day course. A 5-day course is for someone who has a fair idea of balancing, say rides a cycle pretty confidently, or rides a scooty very well, and wants to just upgrade to a motorcycle because they have an idea of acceleration and balancing. Someone who is a complete novice, say who doesn't have any experience of riding a two-wheeler in the past, for them an 8-day class is decent.
So Suparna, so there's a 5-day course and there's an 8-day course.
Yeah.
And after which a novice rider is kind of equipped, of course real world experience will come later, to handle a motorcycle solo.
So as I said, every individual is different. Some people take longer to learn balancing even, some are very quick. So it's their natural experience maybe of their past experience. So it takes usually 5 to 8 days. However, there are people who sometimes continue further. And there are people who are good enough, and then if I feel confident, so I train them in the track. Because for riding in a track like this in a closed and a safe area, controlled area, they don't need a license.
So, if you could just give us 3 to 5 pointers of what is the training like, of course, without revealing too much.
No, I'm fine with sharing the information. So initially when they come, I make them sit on one of my bikes. So
These are your motorcycles?
Yeah, these are my bikes, and one is parked there, which we were using for the training earlier. So first I make them sit on the bike. And people who claim that they have ridden two-wheelers in the past year, scooty very well, I put them on and I then let them ride on the first gear. And then is the real game, that whether they're able to ride without changing the gear. So first I make them walk the bike, they walk keeping their feet up. Once they are able to do that with a machine on, of course, then I ask them to keep their left feet up. Because this track is such that you can keep going, clockwise.
And of course you advise them always to be in gear.
Of course, I mean, even before we start, we gear up. As you see, all my gears are lined up here. So there's a size for every rider, mostly. So no riding without a gear, unconditionally. Even when we are riding inside the track, they are required to wear the jackets, the helmet. So on the road, I advise them to wear a full face helmet. But since we are training and I have to speak all the time and they have to listen to me, so we use only half face helmets for the training. And then when we go out, they're given full face helmets to ride on.
So I'm going to ask you a difficult question, and then we have a surprise guest. We'll just call him in.
Okay.
2020 redefined the amount of online digital media consumption.
Right.
Now, in your view, can riding be learned online, or does it need to be with the old-fashioned way of guru and shishya?
I think that watching is something and doing is something. It's like playing cricket.
Correct.
You could be an audience, but maybe when you play on the ground, you really can't hit a six or bowl well. So it has to be done physically. You can learn the tips, the nuances there, but then you have to actually practice on a real motorcycle to be able to have that control. Otherwise, it's like playing a video game. You are controlling, and if you lose, maybe you lose, you have another life. But when you're on a motorcycle, you don't have second lives or multiple lives. You just live once. So as I tell, this is one of my instructions, that this track that you see around, it's like a ideal world. No traffic, no stray cattle, no obstacles as such. But as you land on the main road or the highway, it's like playing a video game in real where you don't have multiple lives. So always be cautious, keep your guards up, be watchful, and be confident as you ride.
All the best for your riding school, and we wish you great success. And let's get Surya in now. Yeah. Hey Surya,
hi.
Come stand next to your amazing wife. So that's Surya. Surya is a professional photographer, and the reason we have him on the video is Suparna shared it a little earlier. This is as pure motorcycling as it can get. These two got married on two motorcycles, and it got featured in Band Baja Pride, if I remember the name.
Yes.
What made you do it? It's a pretty mad thing to do.
I think the love for the motorcycles. That's it. And a lot of love for her.
Oh, lovely. So you got married on a motorcycle?
Yes.
You ride together?
Yeah.
So what's next? Any long rides coming up?
We're applying for the international riders now.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe in the month of July and August. But the COVID thing gets over. Let's see how it gets over.
And I'm sorry, it's a tough question, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Being a man,
Yeah.
and having a woman
Yes.
motorcyclist as a wife,
Yeah.
what are the feelings or what are the words that come to your mind?
Oh, I feel because of feeling for the life. First thing.
Okay.
I don't need to think about what I need to ride because the rider is always there with me. I don't need to be worried about the navigations also because she's very good at navigation.
Okay.
And
So you're a chauffeur-driven
chauffeur-driven wife, and I always say I'm the boss of this house, and I have my wife's permission to say so.
Lovely. So here's wishing you all the best. Stay kind to each other and have a lot of fun, and hopefully see you both on rides very soon.
As they say, couples who ride together stay together.
Absolutely.
It's so true. Like, you don't have to see company outside to ride. We pick up our bikes and we start on ride. So we recently did a Jaipur ride that was like in less than 48 hours amidst the farmer protest and all the obstacles. We went on 2 meteors and completed a good ride.
Lovely. So that's yet another amazing motorcycling story. We are here with Suparna Sarkar and her husband Surya. That's quite a couple. This is the Star Riding Academy. We'll put the link in the description below. If any aspiring riders there, you want to learn how to ride and be trained by someone who has over 15 years of riding in all conditions and most platforms. If you like this video, please click like, share and subscribe, and thank you both.
Thank you so much, and let's ride soon, yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
Let's see you soon.
See you, man. Thank you.